day, Alex arrived at his office feeling exhausted. As soon as he sat down, his boss walked in and said, "We have a new product. Just like the others, it has a name, brand, and price. Create a new entity for it." Alex sighed, turned on his PC, and opened the old product class. Again, he copied the same code, and pasted it into a new class. Name, brand, price, the same thing all over again. A few moments later, a warning suddenly appeared on his screen. Duplicated code detected. Dry principle violated. Alex stared at the monitor in frustration. At that moment, his new coworker Hossein walked over and asked, "What happened?" Alex explained everything. Hossein smiled and said, "You know, there's a better way to solve this problem. Inheritance." Using concepts from object-oriented programming, Hossein showed Alex how to eliminate duplicated code and build a cleaner architecture. And thanks to BackendWithCSharp channel, their application became modular, scalable, and much easier to maintain.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Did you see what happened to Alex and what problem Alex was suffering from, and how his coworker helped him to solve duplication and multiplicity of code through inheritance? First of all, let's examine the problem together. He had a basic class with the name of car, and he had some basic field and method that were common to all of his classes. And whenever his boss asked him to add a new feature to the application, that this feature had the name, brand, and price because they are common to all of his classes, and Alex copied the car class, for example here, bike, and just copy the common field and just add the field that are not repeated to this class. And after that, the same repetitive scenario happened to the truck. If you take a look here in the truck, the only thing that is not the same or is not repeated is the cargo capacity. And now let's see how inheritance helped Alex and Hossein to solve this problem. Let's do it in action. What is inheritance? Inheritance allows one class to reuse and extend another class. In inheritance, we have two parts. The first one is parent or base class, and the second part is child or derived class. Here, I want to solve this problem. First of all, I have to create a parent or base class. For this reason, I right-click on my project and add a parent class and call it vehicle. And come here and say public. Now, the second task for inheritance, you have to move all of common fields method that exist in all of our classes to the parent class. Here, if you take a look at this three class, name, brand, price. In car is name, brand, price, and in truck is also like this, name, brand, price. For this reason, I cut this and go to the vehicle class, I mean the parent, and paste it and remove it from all of my classes. Just the field I have to don't move the fields that are not repeated. Okay, for car class I will remove all of these, and in bike just remove these three and just take this one. And after that, if you take a look, start and stop exist in all of these three classes. For this reason, I cut this and paste it in the parent class. Now it's better than before. For this reason, in the car I have to remove these two repeated and duplication code, and in the bike is two. Okay, now what does a child or derived class inherit from its parent? Public field, public method, and everything that is public. And what does not a child class derive from its parent? Constructor directly and the private member. If I change the access modifier of this to the private in my parent, I cannot inherit it. For this reason, what does it mean? We cannot inherit a constructor directly. Or if I need to pass something from the child class to the parent class through the constructor, what should I do in situation like that? We can do it in the next section. Let's do it. Okay, We have moved all of the command, field, and method to the parent class, and the name is vehicle. Now, how can I inherit from the parent class? I go to the truck. You have to put a colon, and after that, the name of parent class. Here is vehicle. And we do this for all of our classes here and say colon vehicle and colon vehicle. Congratulations! Now you have access to all of the common fields and method of the parent classes. How do we find this out? I mean, how can I know, or how can I access to the share data and everything in the parent class? For this reason, I go to the program and create an instance of this class. If you don't know what is how we can instance an object of my class, take a look at my previous episode. Here I say the name of my class is truck, and I say, for example, tr new truck. Now, if I come here, because it's not good, if I come here and type truck and put a dot, you can see you have access. In addition to have access to the fields and method of this class, additionally you have access to the parent fields, method, and everything you need: name, price, start, stop, and brand. And the cargo capacity is the field of this class. Here, if you come here and say, for example, it's 1,500 and say truck, the name is Benz truck dot price is, for example, 1,000, and truck dot brand is Benz. Now you can invoke the start method, truck dot start, or you can access to the truck dot stop. And if you press F5, now you will see in the output that say truck constructor and the bins started, the bins stopped, because the constructor of the truck is run, and I told you in the previous episode we use constructor to initialize the field and the public item, and the constructor is a very special method that when we create an instance of a class, it runs. And he said the bins started and the bins stopped. Did you see how inheritance help us to remove the duplicate code? And now the code is modular and it's so scalable. Okay, what happened here if I want to access the constructor of the parent, or how can I pass data to the constructor of my parent class? For example, if I come here, and because I want to create a problem, if I come here and say for vehicle, I have a constructor that it take, for example, int and price, and here we want to say price is equal to price, and I want to print that price is price. We call it string interpolation. Now, if I go to my program here, and you have created an instance of the truck, and you have initialized the value, and now I want to run the program. What happened here? Why I got an error? It say there is no argument given that correspond to required parameter price of vehicle in. What does it mean? What happened here? I told you we cannot access the constructor directly, and here I am the child class, I am the derived class. And when the constructor run of my class, before of that the constructor of the parent run, after that the constructor of my class, I mean the child class, run. For this reason, I didn't send, or I didn't receive any value in my parent constructor for the price. In the next section, we can see how we can solve this problem. Let's do that. Okay, did you see why I got an error when I want to run a program? Here I got 3 errors and say there is no argument given that corresponded to the required parameter price of vehicle.vehicle. It means that because we are in vehicle class, and here I have a constructor, and the constructor take one parameter, okay? And after that, I come here. Here in the program, I have created an instance of the truck. And if you come here, you see I got a red underlined error. It says, when you are inherit from the parent class, C# expects the constructor of the parent class runs too. That's the, if you want to see the execution order of this, it says the first constructor of the parent run, after that the constructor of the child runs. Here, I have to come and put a colon and put the base keyword. That's the situation. The base should come in and solve the problem. We use base to pass some data from the parent, from the child or derived class to the parent. Here, I say, because in the parent I need an int, I say something like this. And if you take a look, one of my error solved. For this reason, I have to go to all of the child or all of the class that inherit from the vehicle and put this line of code. Paste and bike paste. You can choose another value. And if I run the program, you will say before any constructor or the parent constructor runs. I put this console write line in the parent constructor to how is the execution order. First constructor run. After that, the console write line in the parent is say price is 1,500, and after that the child constructor, the constructor of the parent, the child execute, and after that all of the method in the parent is run. That is the execution order. We call it constructor chaining. It means one class constructor is depend on the other class constructor. Okay, in this episode we talk about the inheritance. After that, we have solved a very, very important and very common problem. It was copy paste, and do all of the common fields method in all of the classes are using in the one application. It's a violate the dry rule. It said don't repeat yourself. Okay, here I come here and create a very basic and base or parent class and move all of the fields and method to this class, and after that we inherit in the child of this class and put a column and the name of the parent. After that we create an instance of the child class. We got an error. What was that? It said you didn't pass any value to the parent constructor. Okay, it was everything about the inheritance. If you like this video or if you think this video help you to understand the inheritance or constructor chaining, don't forget to like this video and subscribe this channel, because when you like or subscribe, it helps me or it makes me happy. In the next episode, we are talking about the polymorphism. I will see you. Goodbye.